ॐ वाङ् मे मनसि प्रतिष्ठिता मनो मे वाचि प्रतिष्ठितम् आविराविर्मयेधि भेदस्सम आणीस्तः अनेनाधीतेनाहोरात्रान् सन्दधामि ऋतं वदिष्यामि सत्यं वदिष्यामि तन्मामवतु तद्वक्तारमवतु अवतु माम् अवतु वक्तारमवतु वक्तारम् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ Om. May my speech be accorded with the mind. May my mind be accorded with the speech. O self-effulgent one Brahman, reveal thyself to me. May you both, speech and mind, be the carriers of the highest truth to me. May not all that I have heard depart from me. May I be able to join day and night through this study. I shall utter what is verbally true. I shall utter what is mentally true. May that Brahman protect me. May that Brahman protect the teacher. May that protect me. May that protect the teacher. Om, peace, peace. Peace be unto you all. Good morning. This morning I am going to speak on a very important and practical subject on our spiritual life. The evolution of instinctual to spiritual human being. We know that according to Darwin theory, our ancestors were ape or super ape. And by the evolution process that was discovered by Charles Darwin, by the evolution process, we became from ape, super ape, to Homo sapiens, the human being. This is a evolution. The question is evolution stopped at the point of human being, at the point of Homo sapiens, or there are any scope of more evolution process among the human being? Let us see what is Swami Vivekananda's view on this and what Vedanta says. Let us start with one of the aspects of Swami Vivekananda's life. When Swami Vivekananda was roaming as an itinerant monk in Rajasthan, he came across Khetri. There is a state, there is a small town which is called Khetri in Rajasthan. So, while roaming the length and breadth of India, Swami Vivekananda came to Khetri. The then Maharaja, the king of Khetri, Ajit Singh, he was a very learned man. And he came to know that a very scholarly, learned Swami, monk, is roaming in Khetri. He became curious and he instructed his minister to invite that itinerant monk, that scholarly, very learned and wise monk, to his palace. His minister went and found Swami Vivekananda roaming in the street, living under the open sky. He found Swami Vivekananda and invited respectfully to the palace. Swami Vivekananda accepted the invitation and came to the palace. Afterwards, the king Ajit Singh was so impressed by the spirituality, by the scholarship, by the wisdom of Swami Vivekananda, that he became a very sincere and ardent disciple of Swami Vivekananda. While talking one day, Ajit Singh asked Swami Vivekananda, "What is life?" This is a very common question, and very philosophical question. What is life? Without a single moment of hesitation, Swami Vivekananda replied, "Life is the unfoldment and fulfillment of being under circumstances tending to press it down." Let us see, very significant, very deep and profound reply. What is life? Life is the unfoldment and fulfillment of being. Human being. So that being, the unfoldment and fulfillment of being under the circumstances which presses it down. The circumstances we are trying to unfold and fulfill ourselves. But these circumstances is pressing us down and is not allowing to be fulfilled or to unfold ourselves. This is called life. What does it mean? It means something is trying to unfold and fulfill, and something is trying to press us down. That means from our part, from the being, it is a kind of struggle to unfold and to fulfill. So life is actually a struggle to be fulfilled, struggle to unfold our being, but the circumstances, nature, circumstances are pressing it down. What we want, we cannot do that because of circumstances. We want to be healthy always, but we cannot do that because of circumstances. So always circumstances is pressing us down to become fulfilled, to unfold our being. Darwin also gave this theory. He says, two important theories. Number one, struggle for existence and survival of the fittest. So this struggle, Darwin also conceptualized this struggle for existence and survival of the fittest. So this struggle for existence we can find everywhere, in the insect, in the birds, in a plant, in trees, in nature, everywhere we find this struggle for existence. Everyone is struggling for their existence. And actually, Darwin and Herbert Spencer, they said that this struggle is the dynamic force behind our evolution. So the ape, super ape, they became Homo sapiens, human being. What was the dynamic force behind that? Struggle for existence. So they are struggling, and this actually, what is the COVID? The COVID virus. They were threatened. They were threatened by the nature, and they try to survive. That's why they are changing their variants. They want to survive in this world. So they are evolving in different variants. Survival, struggle for existence. So that's the thing. We can find it in nature, in plants, in insects, in animals. All they are struggling for existence. But what happened with human being? Is human being struggling for existence? If you see the scientific development, the technological development, you can find that all this kind of development, all our social, political, technological initiatives, these are to remove our struggle for existence. Everything aims at to reduce our struggle for existence, our comfort, our health security, our food security, our emotional pleasure or security. So everything, all these developments aim at removing this struggle for existence. So mainly the struggle for existence concerned or connected with physical struggle for existence. And all our developments aim at to remove our physical struggle for existence. So for human being, the physical struggle for existence has reduced enormously. But when the struggle for existence, especially at the physical level, is satisfied, is reduced, then another struggle for existence starts, and that is the struggle for existence of ego, our psychological struggle for existence. When physical thing is satisfied, is reduced, then mental, psychological thing starts. So, when physical struggle for existence is satisfied, is fulfilled, then the struggle, psychological struggle, or struggle for ego consciousness starts. The ego, our ego, constantly struggles to maintain its identity. Yes, I am, my identity. In the workplace, in our family, in our friend circle, in our society, always our ego consciousness is trying to establish, trying to get its identity. It is said that a baby expresses its identity with a cry, and mother, she immediately understands the cry and runs to the baby. So, immediately, even the very tiny baby, it also expresses its identity, ego identity. So, then the struggle for ego identity starts. Human struggle means our struggle for success, as Bernard Russell says. Human struggle is not for physical struggle for existence. It is finished because the development, technological development, scientific development, sociological development, everything, they have completely eradicate or reduce the struggle for existence in the physical level. But when the struggle for existence physical level stops, then the struggle for existence in psychological level or otherwise ego consciousness starts. And Bernard Russell, he gave a wonderful example on it. He said, people are not afraid of failing to get breakfast in the next morning. We are not concerned what will be our breakfast tomorrow morning. But we are afraid of failing the outshine our neighborhood. We always try to be very smart and very outshine to our neighbor. I don't care what will be my breakfast, but I am very concerned about myself to present to our neighbor. This kind of struggle starts. So, I can eat whatever I like, whatever I have in my home. I don't bother about that. But I am very concerned to present myself to my neighbor. So that kind of struggle starts. When struggle for existence in the physical level stops, then the struggle in the psychological level, in the ego conscious level starts. So, the life means only to struggle to maintain our ego consciousness or ego identity. The Western thinkers like Soren Kierkegaard or Teilhard Chardin, they say that yes, our all struggle are for maintain our ego consciousness. Struggle for existence for our ego consciousness. But Vedanta discovered at least 3,000 years ago the solution of the problem of human existence not lies in the ego consciousness. It lies in a deeper level of consciousness. Before proceeding further, let us see what is ego. We don't have much idea about that. Generally, we say ego in a broad term, we just express our term as ego. What is ego? Ego is the manifestation, outer manifestation of our self. Ego is very closely connected with our self. It is the outer manifestation. We cannot see the self. We cannot experience ourself. But we can see the function of ego. We can see the expression of ego. So ego is the manifested thing of our self, which people call spirit, soul, etc. It is the I-ness. I. Ego refers the feeling of I. If I say I, what does it mean? But feelings of I. I like it. I don't like it. That is the feelings of I. So this feelings of I is called ego. And there are two levels of ego. Sri Ramakrishna says that two types of I. One is ripe I. It represents a capital I. Paka ami, capital I. And other is kacha ami, tender I, which is the small I. In English or in psychological terminology, this I, capital I, which is Sri Ramakrishna says Paka Ami, I consciousness, that is called ego. But what is the Kacha Ami, as Sri Ramakrishna says, tender I, small I? In psychological terminology, it is called egoism or egotism. So in this way, we can divide these two, Paka Ami or Kacha Ami, or ripe I or tender I. So tender I is egoism or egotism. And this egoism or egotism is, I did that. I have this power. I am the all in all. This ahankara. This is called actually egoism or egotism. But the I consciousness, I exist, that kind of feeling is Paka Ami or ego, only ego. So ego is not bad. Everybody has ego. I exist. Everybody has. But egoism or egotism, I did that. I am all in all. I am the all powerful. That kind of sense is called egoism or egotism. That is extremely bad. So these two type of things. So I am Swami Prasannatmananda. I am X, Y, Z. That is not bad. That is not ego. That is the ripe I. Because I am that. I am okay. But I am a monk. I am a doctor. I am an engineer. I am a software engineer. This kind of role play is very bad. When we are connected with our role play, I am a police officer. I am a doctor. I am a monk. When we identify ourselves with our role play, that is bad. That is very bad. I am Swami Prasannatmananda is not bad. But I am a monk. I am a policeman. I am a doctor. The role play, when we identify with our role play, that is very bad. So ego is the projection of our self. Life is a force. Life is an unknown continuous force. It changes our body, it changes our mind, it changes everything. And ego is the reflection of ourself to that continuous stream. So ego is nothing but the reflection of our self, spirit. From where it is reflected? From our being, from the force, an unknown stream which is called life. Now, the solution of our problem in human existence lies in consciousness. So all our problems, if we can understand this thing, all our problems, day-to-day problems, can be solved. Because I have already mentioned that human being, they don't have any problem for struggle of existence in the physical level. They have the struggle for existence in the psychological level. Physical level, we have doctor, we have engineer, we have plenty of things. They can give us support. If there is any problem in this building, it is not possible for me. It is not possible for me to repair that one or to change that one. I have to call some expert to repair those things. I cannot fix it. So, all the physical level, but if there is some psychological, if I have fear, if I have jealousy, if I have anger, that nobody can repair, nobody can fix it. Only I have to fix it. So, by the evolution process, for the human being or Homo sapiens, the physical struggle for existence is finished. We don't have that. We have the struggle for existence in the psychological level, or in other words, in the level of ego consciousness. That is our struggle for existence. And individual attitudes, emotion, thought and action depends upon the state of our individual consciousness. That is, I consciousness is just like a staircase, and the lower level of the staircase is which is called ego, and the highest level of the stair rungs is the Atman. And so it is the evolution going from lower staircase to the higher staircase is the process of our spiritual journey. So spiritual life is the disciplined search for the higher dimension of consciousness. That is spiritual journey. So what is the transformation of consciousness? Transformation of consciousness means the journey from the lower rung of the staircase, that is from ego level, to the higher rung of staircase, which is called Atman. So that is the level of our journey. And it is the change of ego or change of consciousness. And Swami Vivekananda explained it excellently. He said that the struggle to transcend the limitation of senses, and in that he said that it is an intense struggle for attainment of higher consciousness, and it is the raison d'être of religion. This is a Latin word probably. The raison d'etre means the main purpose of religion. So this struggle to get the higher consciousness is the main purpose of religion. Spirituality, religion. Why we are practicing all these things? Meditation, prayer, worship. Why? Why are we practicing all these disciplines? To transform our consciousness. And what is the meaning of transform our consciousness? I consciousness is the ego, I. So I consciousness is the lower rung, it is like a staircase. And the higher case, the highest one is Atman, our spirit. So we are in the ego level, lower level. So we have to take our journey to attain the higher rung, that is the Atman. And this is the purpose of all religions. This is the purpose of our spiritual life. But one thing is very important, and that is the evolution process. The more we go higher and higher, the more we will become evolved. And what is the succession of evolution? What is the steps of evolution? We are human being. We are the instinctual human being. Physically, we have evolved to Homo sapiens, human being. But psychologically, we are instinctual human being. All animals are guided by their instinct. They are instinctual being. All animals are instinctual being. They cannot discriminate what is ethical. They cannot discriminate the right or wrong. So they are guided by their instinct, and they are struggling for existence, their physical body, physical things. But human being also, they evolved physically, but mentally they are instinctual. So we are instinctual human being. What is the next evolution? I have already mentioned that our ego consciousness is taking a journey towards the highest level of the staircase. And the highest level of the staircase is our soul, spirit or Atman. And the lower level of staircase is called egotism, etc. Ego. So, if we evolve, then we will become the rational human being. From instinctual human being to rational human being. And from rational human being to spiritual human being. That is the steps of our evolution process. But one thing is very important. Unless we get away from the physical struggle for existence, we cannot take up the journey of the psychological or other state of journey. So, the struggle of transcendent the senses takes place in 3 stages. First, turning away from the struggle for existence. The struggle for existence means struggle for existence in the physical level. Then transformation of consciousness. As long as we are involved in the struggle for existence in the physical level, our journey for the transformation of consciousness we cannot take up. then we will not become fulfilled. It is the partial evolution. And the third step is the expansion of our consciousness. Because of time, this morning I am going to explain you only one point of the transformation of consciousness. This is the one part of our evolution. So evolution process, first we have to turn away from the struggle for our existence. So total response to the humanity, unless we stop this physical struggle for existence, we cannot take up the struggle for existence of our ego or transform our ego consciousness. When and how can we get away or turn away from the struggle for existence? All these things, detachment, devotion, discrimination, all these things are nothing but to turn ourselves away from the struggle for existence. I repeat, unless we can turn ourselves from the struggle for existence in the physical level, we cannot start our journey to the psychological level or towards the higher spiritual attainment. And all these, discrimination, devotion, detachment, all are the processes to turn ourselves away from the physical level of struggle for existence. And when it happens, when we can understand that these are all futile, these has no use, the unreality of this physical world, when we can understand it, that it has no meaning, it gives us temporary satisfaction, but it cannot give us permanent, or it cannot remove our problem of existence. So, this is the first step. Then second step is the transformation of consciousness. This is the most important step connecting to our evolution process. We can avoid many of our problems and sufferings by transforming our consciousness. And I have mentioned, again I repeat, the transformation of consciousness means the transformation from ego and traveling towards the self. It is like a staircase, The lower rung is called ego. Egotism, egoism, or ego. Ego is also two types, The lower ego is called egotism, egoism, and higher ego, pakami, is called ego. So, this is the journey. So, transformation of consciousness is very important, and we can solve our all problems of life by transforming our consciousness. What are the practical implications of this transformation of consciousness? It is our attitude, our faith, our belief, our personality together constitute the ego consciousness. What is ego consciousness? Ego consciousness is our personality. Ego consciousness is our feeling. Ego consciousness is our attitude. Ego consciousness is our belief. Ego consciousness is our personality and behavior pattern. All these things, what we are, all these things combined is called ego consciousness. And the center of the ego consciousness is I. The Paka Ami, I. The transformation of consciousness means transformation of this whole constellation, this whole gamut of thing. Transformation of this is called transformation of consciousness. It is a state of consciousness. What will attain? What will be attained if we transform our consciousness? What we will attain? We can understand the problem of life in a better way, and we can apply our creative thinking, and we can actualize our spiritual potentiality to solve our problem. So if we can transform our consciousness, then, I repeat, we can understand our problem of life in a clearer way. So, we can apply our spiritual power, spiritual potentiality, and we can also apply our creative thought or our creative thinking. So, this we can get this kind of maturity. In other words, we will have the spiritual maturity if we transform our consciousness. And Swami Vivekananda, in his life and in his teachings, he described this transformation of consciousness in a very clear way. So we have understood that what is transformation of consciousness and what is the benefit of transformation of consciousness. So this is the evolution means in human level is the transformation of consciousness, and transformation of consciousness never begins unless we turn ourselves from the struggle for existence. In Swami Vivekananda's life and teachings, we find what is the meaning of this transformation of consciousness. Again, when Swamiji was in itinerant life, he was roaming everywhere, Then he reached in Nainital and especially in Kakdi Ghat. Actually, only recently our Almora Center, they celebrated something in Kakdi Ghat because I think Kakdi Ghat has completed 100 years. So that was why they did some celebration at the spot of that Kakdi Ghat. So the Kakdi Ghat, more than 100 years, I think 125 years, I think so, that they completed, or maybe 150 years they completed. I am not sure, but there is some program was there commemorating this Kakdi Ghat. So whatever may be the matter, so Swamiji, when he was in itinerant life with Swami Akhandanandaji, Gangadhar Maharaj, and they reached in Kakdi Ghat in Nainital, in Himalaya. And they stayed there for one night. In the early morning, when Swami Vivekananda took bath in a creek, very in cold water, and he sat for meditation. A beautiful realization he had on that day. He realized that microcosm means individual and macrocosm means the universal or the cosmos is built in the same reality. So, and dynamically connected. So, individual and the universal, individual and the cosmos are built on a same plane and dynamically connected. What does it mean? Individual and universal are connected. That he had that realization, and he said afterwards to Swami Akhandananda, his brother disciples, that today a screen of ignorance, a veil of ignorance is removed. It has removed from my eyes. So what does it mean? That individual and universal are connected? In other words, it means that our reality depends upon our own nature of understanding. What we think ourselves. What do we think ourselves? We think we are human being. We are very good human being. We are moral, ethical human being. We are compassionate human being. We are excellent human being. So we are human being. Our individual microcosm, our individual understanding of ourselves is we are human being. So what is our understanding about the cosmos or about the universe, about the God? Our God is also, we consider, a kind of human being. Maybe highly qualified, but it is a kind of human being. That's why you can find all the pictures of our God and goddesses are a kind of human being. So our understanding about the reality is also a kind of human nature. So our God is human being, our world is also kind of human being. That's why you see in Vishwarupa Darshan, in cosmic splendor we find in Bhagavad Gita, there is also a kind of human frame, human, physical human form. So that's why our reality, our understanding depends upon our own nature. What we think about ourselves, our nature, that is our understanding about the universal nature or cosmos or God. We think ourselves the best human being. Our concept about God is the best one. And this realization is authentic realization of Swami Vivekananda. Why? It is because we find this thing in the scripture. Ramanuja, he actually described, propounded this theory from the scripture, and he said, Atmo abhivano yadrisho tad gunoiva purushartha pratiti. What an individual pursues as a desirable end depends upon what he or she conceives himself to be. What we are considering about our nature, our ultimate understanding is according to that. Swamiji, in his Jnana Yoga, explained it in a better way. He said, we see this universe as human being, and our God is our human explanation of the universe. So we think we are human being, so our God is also a kind of human nature. Suppose a cow were philosophical and had religion. It would have a cow universe and a cow solution of the problem, and it would not be possible that it should see our God. So if a cow become religious and philosophical, her God is the cow God. Her reality is the cow reality. She cannot see human God. Her understanding about herself, her concept is, I am a cow. So her ultimate understanding on the basis of that cowness. That is very, very important theory in our spiritual life. Suppose, Swami Vivekananda said, suppose cats become philosophers. They would see a cat universe and have a cat solution to the problem of the universe, and a cat ruling it. So cat, the nature of cat, they are thinking about the ultimate reality or God, the cat universe. They will think about their understanding of themselves. This is a very, very important theory. What we understand about ourselves, our real nature, we think our God just as like that. It means that it is the nature of our I consciousness that determines our view of reality, what we think about ourselves. If our I consciousness is cat, we will see cat universe. If our I consciousness is cow, our experience about the reality according to the cow-like. If our I consciousness is limited to our body, if we think we have no spirit, we are body only. This is our everything. We have a mind. I can come afterwards. If we think we are body only, then we can only experience the sense of bound physical universe. And then we tend to look upon God, a person like us. So that is, God is just like a person sitting, because we understand ourselves a person. If we identify ourselves with the mind, then our understanding about the ultimate reality is the world of ideas. It is a thought. Our understanding about reality, it is a kind of thinking, thoughts. And regard God as the cosmic mind. Thus, there are different dimensions of our personality, say senses, energy, mind, intellect, etc., with which our I consciousness is attached. Our personality as well as our universal reality is changed accordingly. It is very important point. So as we think about ourselves, our reality is like that. We heard a lot of questions. This is the second phase of evolution. The rational being. What will happen if we have this kind of understanding? According to us, we can see this universe. We will become the rational human being. Then we can understand the reality. Because we can see ourselves, our understanding of ourselves is a certain kind, and then we can understand that about our reality. So many devotees, they ask us that I am following the path of jnana, or I am Advaitin, or sometimes they say that, okay, I am a devotee, I am bhakta, so I am following the path of devotion. How can you determine this? That whether you are really following the path of jnana, or whether you are following the path of bhakti, or your understanding about reality is non-dual, or your understanding of reality is dual. How can you understand that? It depends upon how you are perceiving yourself. Do you think you are a spirit? If you have that conviction that you are nothing but spirit, then your ultimate reality, your concept about Brahman or your concept about God is spirit. If you think you are an individual, then your concept about the reality is just like an individual, just like a God, just like a human being. So if God is human being, according to your understanding, then you are following the path of duality, bhakti. If your understanding about the reality is consciousness, because you think yourself consciousness or spirit, then you are following the path of jnana. So this kind of understanding, if we have about us and about the reality, what Swamiji said, microcosm and macrocosm are built on a same plane and dynamically connected. So if this we can understand, we can change our consciousness to the rational level. We will become the rational human being. This is the transformation of consciousness. And how can we do it? The first step, turn yourself away from the physical level of existence with detachment, devotion, and discrimination, and then you change your thinking. Vedanta says, know it. So you have to understand it. It is nothing but thinking, understanding. We have to understand that what we are. And according to that understanding, our understanding of reality will change. So we evolved according to our understanding. So evolution doesn't mean we are physically climbing some staircase. Evolution means our understanding, the development, evolution of our understanding. Physically we will be the same. We are instinctual human being, but on this understanding, we will become a rational human being. So our behavior, our attitude, our personality, our outlook, everything will be changed if we can change our concept about ourselves. That is the way. And in this way, we can evolve from instinctual, ultimately, to spiritual human being. There are different processes also, but it is difficult in this short time to explain all the processes, but this is one of the ideas I have tried to explain you. Thank you. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramaya, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschid dukkham apnuat, sarvastarotu durgani, sarvo bhadrani pashyatu, sarva sadbuddhim apnotu, sarva sarvatra nandatu, durjana sajjano bhuyat, sajjana shantim apnuat, shantamuccheti bandhebhyo, muktaschanyan vimochayet. May all be happy. May all enjoy good health. May all see happy events. May all be freed from miseries. May all be freed from dangers. May all realize what is good. May all be actuated by noble thoughts. May all rejoice everywhere. May the wicked become virtuous. May the virtuous attain tranquility. May the tranquil be free from bondages. May the freed make others free. May the Supreme Spirit, the presiding deity of all sacred activities, be satisfied. For He being pleased, the whole universe feels satisfied. Om, peace, peace, peace be unto you all. We have few announcements. Next Sunday at 11 a.m. we have the Sunday lecture. Swami Prasannatmananda will be delivered the Sunday lecture on the story of Chandi. The story of Chandi. He is going to deliver this lecture. And then the following Sunday, that is 17th October, we will have Durga Puja in this hall at 3 p.m. We are sorry, this year also we are unable to organize this in person, so it will be broadcasted online. We would request you to watch it on 17th October at 3 p.m. Then the following Sunday also we don't have Sunday lecture, that is on 24th. So 24th also we will have Durga Puja in our San Jose house, that is also online, and that will be at 6:30. 6:30 there will be Durga Puja in San Jose. Namaste.